Hey, what's up? It's Liz, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the splits, even if you were not a dancer or a gymnast growing up. Now this video is a two-part series. We're going to be going over front and back splits as well as middle splits, but they're going to be in two separate videos, so make sure you watch which one applies to you or watch both if you want to learn how to do splits in all three directions. Quick little backstory, I did not grow up as a gymnast or an acrobat or a dancer at all, so I had to learn the hard way, and I learned how to do the splits by practicing three basic things. And these are incredibly important if you want to learn how to do the splits too. Number one is patience. Now I know you don't want to hear that, but the splits are something that will not happen overnight. It's something that you have to practice, practice, practice. And the number one most important thing that you can have while you're learning your splits is patience. Make sure that you practice, make it a consistent part of your routine, and I promise you, you will get to your split in no time. I recommend doing this video along with me 3 to 4 times a week if you're really serious about getting your splits, and just be patient. The number two most important thing that we need to practice when we're learning our splits is flexibility. So what I mean by flexibility is making sure that the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, and the fascia, all of those are being worked and stretched in a gradual manner, so we're not just plopping down or forcing or ripping anything. We are going to gradually over time lengthen all of those body parts so that it is easy and comfortable to sit in our splits. The third and final thing that we need to practice is mobility. So when it comes to hips, and especially the middle splits, we have to work on our hip mobility. So today's video is going to walk you through all different kinds of exercises that you can practice to finally conquer your splits. And P.S. don't worry if you're super inflexible right now. I started off as the most stiff person in the world, so if I can do it, you can do it. And again, it all comes back to that number one thing of patience. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you find it helpful, awesome. Share it with somebody who you can do it with. And make sure you comment below and tell me how are your splits coming along. I can't wait to hear from you. All right, let's get into the exercises. Little disclaimer, never, ever, ever stretch or work on flexibility or mobility when you are cold, meaning you haven't done a warm-up first. So I'm going to walk you through a quick little warm-up that you can do for the lower body and the hips. So let's hop into the warm-up. Okay, so taking your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, we're just gonna drop down, do a couple squats, get some blood flowing into the legs. Good, get those hips moving, get all the joints moving, get some synovial fluid in the joints so that you're nice and lubricated. You're not gonna pop anything or hurt yourself. Good, when you're done with a couple squats here, make sure you breathe, pull your abs in, nice tall posture. Then we're gonna take the feet out wider and take the toes slightly pointed out. We're gonna squat down and lift. So sumo squat reach. Good, opening up the hips. Make sure again, your knees are tracking out over in the direction of your toes, stacking those knees right on top of the heels. Heels are planted. Good. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Good, we're gonna take the toes straight forward towards me, and we're gonna shift our hip to the left and then the right. Left and the right. Now some people get little hip pops here, and that's okay, as long as it's pain-free range of motion and you're not hurting yourself. Keeping it nice and safe, again, pushing your hips behind you. Keeping the knees stacked over those heels, driving the heels down into the ground. Good, push your booty out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Once again, toes go out, drop the hips down, take your hands on top of the thighs. We're gonna drop one shoulder down, look up. Nice little inner thigh stretch, as well as spinal twist. And then we'll go to the other side. Just opening up those hips. Good, come to the center, inhale, reach up. Big lift, take the toes forward once again. We're gonna exhale, forward, flat back. Stretching out the backs of those legs, shift your weight back into the left leg. And over into the right leg. Keep your back flat here, your abs are in. Beautiful, we're gonna turn to face the side. Go ahead and drop the back leg down just a little bit. Finding our runner's lunge position, strong straight back leg. Back is flat. Again, notice 90-degree bend here in my forward knee. Good, we're gonna drop the back heel down, stay low, walk your way over to the other side, find your runner's lunge. Good. So really important here to have this forward knee stacked over the heel, framing the forward leg. strong straight back leg. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring the back leg in just a little bit, making a triangle with the legs, strong straight legs. Some people might want to come on up halfway, but if you're flexible as is, you can frame your forward leg. Pull the belly in, keep the back flat. Try not to round here in your back. Keep the back flat, even if it means you have to come up. Because what we do when we do that is to concentrate the stretch on the forward leg and not into the low back. Good, carefully walk your way around to the other side. And we'll do hamstring stretch on this leg. Now you should feel nice and warm. If you don't feel warm, make sure that you continue to do a few more cardio-based dynamic stretching exercises, things like lunges, forward and back, leg swings, ankle circles, things like that. Good, carefully make your way back to center. We'll round forward, both legs stretching the backs of the legs. Inhale to lift. Take the hands to the floor, heel toe your feet right below your hips. Bend the knees and slowly round up, all the way up back to start. Okay, cool. Let's jump into the actual stretches. So when I say front and back split, I mean the most traditional type of split, which means one leg is in front and one leg is in the back. Now this is a little bit easier to get into than middle splits because it doesn't require as much mobility. So let's get right into the flexibility exercises, starting with a hip opening stretch. Now what a lot of people do here is they dump into their low back and then it just all becomes pressure on the spine, which we don't want. So instead we're gonna tuck our tailbone under and then move forward. It changes the stretch slightly, but this is one of the key elements to actually opening up the hip flexor. Once you've found that and your knee is stacked over your forward heel, heel planted down, you're gonna inhale, reach that same side arm up, big lift, and then bend to the side as you slowly exhale. And you'll feel that extend, that stretch all the way up through the side body, getting a full hip flexor stretch. Now I have my back toes tucked, okay? Some people have told me that that helps to alleviate any pressure on this back knee. If you wanna also double up your mat or put a towel down under your knee, feel free to do that. We'll inhale back to center and exhale, and then lean back. Good, so we're gonna go all the way back, keeping the back foot tucked. We're gonna sit onto the back heel. From here, I like to flex the toes back towards the face. Now, if that's uncomfortable for some people, then you can go ahead and come on up or untuck the back toes. Find what works for you, but now we're focused on the other side of the leg, on the back of the thigh or the hamstrings. So sitting up tall, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Good, and I'm framing my body weight here. Good, coming back forward. We're just gonna move through those two stretches. So forward and back. Good, forward and back. We'll do it one more time. Forward, still opening up and warming up the legs and the hips here. Beautiful, coming back to 4-point position. We'll take the other leg in front. Starting with that hip flexor stretch on the other side. So again, remember the trick, tuck your tailbone in and then lean forward. Good, and take a big inhale, reach the arm up. And as you exhale, gentle lean to the opposite side. Feel that beautiful hip flexor stretch. Feels so good. This will get easier and better as you go, including your balance. Coming back to center and exhale the hand down. We'll take it back into hamstring stretch on the forward leg. I also am doing this with shoes today, but I highly recommend doing these stretches barefoot. And the reason why is because you can start to point and flex the feet and start to engage the muscles in the bottom of the foot. Good. So we're gonna come forward, sitting up tall, and backwards. Again, flexing those toes toward the face. We come forward, little hip flexor stretch, and back, toes toward the face. Good, one more time. Forward, and back. Beautiful. Coming back to your hands and knees position. We'll take the other leg in front one more time. This time, we're gonna start working our way down. So if you have a stack of books or yoga blocks that you can set on either side of you, That can help a lot, especially when you're working up to being more flexible. Now, if you don't have that, what we're gonna do instead is to untuck the back toes here, keeping that forward foot at the top of the mat. Might need to inch it a little bit more. From here, we're gonna just use our hands to tuck this back toe and start to move our way down and back. And then once we find our balance, we're gonna again lift up so that we keep our torso in the middle. So we're not leaning forward like this. We are leaning straight up and down using our core. Good, beautiful. And then if you feel comfortable there in the hip flexor, then you can start to work your forward leg forward so that the heel is on the bottom. And again, those toes are flexing back towards your face. Now you might be here for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it might be really uncomfortable, but you really gotta focus on, again, sitting up tall and breathing and being patient. Remember, the number one thing we're focused on here is patience. And eventually, over time, you might find that you start to be able to go lower and lower and lower and lower. And then one day, your hips will actually touch the ground and you will throw yourself a big high five right up in the air because you did it. And once you get here, you can play around with tucking or untucking the back toes, pointing and flexing the forward foot, and then make sure you do the other side. So when you come out, you're bringing the back knee in, and then we'll bring this leg around to the other side, and we'll practice together on the other leg. So these, again, like I said, are the splits that you're gonna be able to get the most quickly, the most easily. And remember, we're going backwards first, finding that flexibility in the hip flexors. Good, and then we sit up nice and tall, and we work on holding. We have yoga blocks here. We're using those for balance. Beautiful. Using our core for control. Awesome. And then once you feel you've got nice, good control, your hip flexor is feeling good back there, then we can start to wiggle the forward foot forward and continue to inch back, back, back. And again, remember, you're probably gonna be stuck here for quite a while, but focus on flexing those toes back toward your face and then sitting the torso up nice and vertical, nice and tall, and being patient, okay? A few times a week. Just throw this into your workout routine at the end of leg day or whatever. Make sure you're nice and warm, and eventually over time, again, you can sit those hips down, sit up nice and tall, and maybe even start working into your back bends, working on untucking the back toes, pointing, flexing the forward foot, all kinds of beautiful variations of your split. Now, if you're wanting to unlock your middle splits as well, I made a separate video for you, and you can find that in the link in the description box below. However, I want to hear, how is your front and back splits coming along? Tell me in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more workout videos every single week. I'll see you next time. Bye. P.S. Side note, with forward and back splits, you don't need as much mobility because the hips naturally go forward and back already as is when you're doing normal daily movements like walking. However, for the middle splits video, we are going to jump more into hip mobility exercises and things that you can do to increase your rotational capacity and range of motion in your hips. I'll see you over there for that video. Bye.